The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaru Productions. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Tokucast Reviews, episode number 145. Marcus and Jacob here to discuss Kamen Rider X. Shall we?
Let's start where we always do.
Yes, the opening.
Yes. It's the show opening. That's it.
It's a good way to... It doesn't
stand out.
It does not stand out.
Yeah. Like, especially when you compare it to V3, the one that came before it.
Or even the original one.
Yeah, it's sort of missing a little bit of gravitas. I think it's because I really...
it's just not that good.
No, it's not. I think especially because I really remember the V3 one. It's just V3. Just having so much bass in it. Mm-hmm. I felt it vibrating through my entire body whenever the opening played. Mm-hmm. But I don't really remember the X one that much. And it's weird because I just finished the show yesterday.
Yeah, the show has that effect on you.
Yeah.
So,
it's shorter.
It is shorter.
35 episodes.
Where do we start? How about parenting? So the basic synopsis of this show, I'll just read what's on the wiki here. So, robotic scientist Keitaro Jin and his son Keisuke, who becomes X, they become caught in the campaign of terror by an evil organization known as God. That's it. That's the show. No other plot synopsis is needed.
Well, there is another part after that. They are attacked and the professor's technology is stolen, but before Keitaro dies, he is still able to perform surgery on his son.
Yep, and turn him into a cyborg.
Yes, into Kamen Rider X.
Kamen Rider X, who they never called Kamen Rider really throughout this show. They just call him Rider X.
Yeah.
I don't know, just felt a little weird just hearing that part. And, so Keitaro... He woke up every day...
Betrayed.
And, no, I'm talking about the dad.
Oh.
He woke up every day and chose violence.
He really did.
Every single day, this man chose violence over everything else. That was his method of parenting. After he dies, we get a flashback to him, his son, Tosan, running up to him, leaping at him for a hug, and the dad just grabs him and goes, "Fuck you!" Body slams him.
It is
every time these two meet. They don't meet often because the dad dies very early on. But like every time they meet on screen, it's just very confrontational, and the dad has to like body slam him.
It is honestly.
That's probably where the mom is. She's dead because he body slammed her.
It is honestly some of the most unintentionally hilarious stuff I've seen just watching Rider. It is so funny. Because it's awful. There are some things in this show, and I think this show is, honestly, after the first, 8 episodes or so, the show of missed opportunity.
Go on.
I'm saying that because for the first 8 episodes, this man is betrayed every episode.
By somebody.
The first episode, he's like, he has a fiance, but then it turns out she's a member of GOD. And then has a twin sister. And then the original lady turns out to be a member of Interpol. And she was turned into a cyborg, and then she dies.
And then there's the kid who's like, I like you, I hate you. And then there's another character, you're bad. Wait, maybe you're not, but you're bad. And it's that, a lot of that.
There's the cyborg version of the dad with the underwater...
We need to talk about that freaking underwater base. We have to talk about this now, because... I assumed from the clips that I'd seen that was going to be his bat cave.
He's like underwater power or something.
Yeah, his belt is hydropowered.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so like he's gonna monitor the situation from beneath the waves and then shall rise to the occasion from them to thwart the bad guys whenever trouble looms. No, it's there for an episode, maybe an episode and a half. He talks to, his dad, uploaded his consciousness to a computer. And as soon as you activate that, it activates the self-destruct mechanism. And the base just freaking explodes.
It was so
He uses this thing a total of once.
Just one time.
This is crazy.
This entire thing is crazy. And it felt like this show just blew whatever it wanted to do in the first 8 episodes. And then it turned...
2, I would say. Jeez.
I say the first 8 because that's when the fiance dies.
Yeah.
But then it's like after that, it got really standard.
It's a good word for it. It's just, here's a bad guy. Time to go fight the bad guy.
Yeah. There was no real good... like, Apollo Geis is in this. I think Apollo Geis is honestly probably one of the stronger things that this show has going for it. But not even Apollo Geis can really do anything to save this show.
The villains are all just... they're all just kind of like generically evil, mustache-twirling bad guys. There's no room for subtlety or nuance in anything, because... again, we've talked about this many times on this channel, how black and white, good versus evil is kind of Toku's bread and butter.
Yeah.
And you look at something like Kira Major, which, takes that and we were able to play with it and play with tropes and do things that are really interesting with it. Or I love Kira Major.
I know you do. I just think it's okay. I don't think it did any of that.
Yeah, but, so Kira Major, or like, other shows that we love on this channel that have pretty much just done that, but they've done it really well. This is not a show that does it well.
And Apollo Geis hates you and gives you a rating of 2 and blows you up. I sort of love that, though. Apollo Geis had some of the most hilarious moments because he just hated you.
Yeah. It's a lot of things.
Like, he hated everybody who was under him. He respected X, and that was about it. Mm-hmm. I just thought that was really, really funny. The reason I say they did the whole thing with the fiance and the twin sister too early is because they died in episode 7 and 8. Mm. And I'm just like, this is probably the most compelling thing that you had going for you. Mm-hmm. And they just died. What was the point of that? I thought for a minute, like, especially the fiance, because she like goes around a cliff and explodes, she would come back later. She doesn't.
It sounds like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
It should have been. It was just really, really odd that, because after they did that, the show didn't have anywhere to go. And that really bothered me because I got bored.
Nowhere to go but
down.
It's a combination of down, but also just like straight ahead because it's a complete flatline.
And then it's like later on they have this whole thing with the previous writers. Yes, Tobei Tachibana is back. I do love Tobei Tachibana. He couldn't do anything to help this show.
He didn't really, I felt like he didn't add anything, though.
He didn't.
He's just like there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool, that's nice.
We're here to give you an actual place to be.
Well, what does he do?
Runs a coffee
a coffee shop,
again.
Gets captured, not much else.
They even bring back V3 and Nigo, and V3's around longer. Mm-hmm. But not even Shiro Kazami, one of my favorite writers of like all time, can really do anything to help save this show.
Doesn't have a good script.
No. This show really just... I know there were a whole bunch of apparently like behind the scenes issues.
Were there?
Yeah, like the rumors that Keisuke
Go in depth.
that Keisuke's actor was sort of difficult to work with.
Oh dear.
The show wasn't selling that well because Mazinger was like a thing, and that was like the new thing that was really selling toys and stuff, and this show wasn't doing that. Which could be why it was just 35 episodes. Could also be the same thing for why Amazon's and Stronger were so short. But yeah, this show was just meh. I don't think it was that interesting. Like, Amazon was more interesting to watch, if only because they just did so many crazy things with that show. I feel like this show sort of has the same issue that I have with Stronger, although Stronger at least has a more interesting main writer. They both just sort of flatline out a little bit, and not even the main writer could do anything for Stronger.
I think you said it best when it throws its most interesting plotline out the window too early.
Yeah.
And then it just has nowhere to go.
And now we're just sitting here for another 27 episodes.
Yeah.
Dealing with Apollo Geist. And he was only up there for until, episode 14. Then he died the first time. And then episode 16. And then he came back in episode 16.
Yeah.
And then he died again in episode 21.
For real this time.
Yeah. And it wasn't great.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that about wraps it up.
It's really bland.
This is the worst kind of show to review for this channel. The ones that it's just like just a complete flatline and gives you nothing interesting to talk about.
And it's so weird because like the original writer, it was longer, a lot longer, but it also had more to talk about because we had multiple writers and all of that, and they at least had some
different plot lines, different tonal shifts throughout the show.
Yeah, some interesting episodes, but this one was just like
some good acting.
Yeah, this one it was just so meh. And there's nothing to write home about this when it comes to X.
Aside from the parenting at the beginning, which definitely got some laughs,
and all the betrayal, which got a lot of laughs, and then fiance explodes, and I'm like, okay. But yeah, that's enough about this show. Let us know what you think about X in the comments below. Don't forget to join us on all the things. Next time we'll be doing Jekka. I'm actually really excited to do Jekka. If only because we get to see Big One.
We do get to see Big One in all his glory.
Yes, and we all know how much I just love anything that man is in. He was although he wasn't the saving grace of Go Ranger either. That ended up being Mito Ranger. Not Mito. Momo Ranger. But Hiroshi Miyuchi.
Skies and explosions, yeah.
Hiroshi Miyuchi, I just love him.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah. So yeah, don't forget to join us all the things, and we'll see you next time in episode 146. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for watching.